Ladies and gentlemen, everyone in between, you join us in the drafting stage for Game 1 in the semi-finals of the Division 1 of Irish Dota League Season 4, taking place between Wongs Bakery and the Standins. Aaron Runatel taking you through this one with the hairiest man in Irish Dota, Faith Kian. How we doing?
Hello. Not bad. Not bad at all.
It's been a
Interesting introduction.
while. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, hairiest everywhere except your head. Now let's have a
Yeah,
look
that's the
at this
thing, right?
draft.
Yeah.
So immediately Wong's buying out Night Stalker. We see the ban on the Nature's Prophet. That is a clear target for Bicep Femoris, right?
Well, like for one, yeah, Bicep Femoris is like a great Nature's Prophet player, but also the hero is insanely good right now. So like, and like, even though it is both a targeted ban and also very much a meta thing. Whereas on the flip side, Standins banned Tusk and Nyx,
They're the two biggest
which
Maniac heroes.
yeah, but like Tusk is a pretty alright hero. Nyx is a basically unpickable hero. Lifestealer would be more of a contemporary meta ban, but kind of an interesting like I don't know, just a very old school set of heroes to ban for the stand-ins. Not really up with the modern.
Oh
Shit. See now
no.
that if they'd
Oh
been keeping
no.
tabs on the heroes that they need
It's
to be dealing with,
Kamki,
they
bro.
yeah they
Okay.
probably would have banned the Wyvern, which is of course
Oh.
Campy's by far most played hero.
Yeah, so just for context when you're watching at home, first things first, Abaddon is no longer as much as a flexible hero as he used to be. Hit the mana pool intensity from the changes they made to him, as well as the less amount of absorption damage on shield, means that his support role is massively reduced. So it's almost definitely a core. And one of the best things that do with Abaddon in the game is Winter Wyvern. And Kamki, who is currently the 5 on Wongs, plays so much Winter Wyvern that when he was 3 on Wongs, he still played Wyvern when it was nerfed. This guy is an absolute Wyvern specialist in a patch where, trust me, it got me to fucking legend. Wyvern is a menace.
Yeah, Wyvern's a very good hero right now, and but like the Abaddon is still very good, right? They brought down the top like they're like before the B patch. There was just a whole bunch of heroes that were just way too strong, and they brought them all down a couple pegs, right? We're not seeing any DK or Tiny band out here, but Abaddon is actually still up there. His worth for most like at like the upper echelon is still mostly as a offlaner.
Yeah.
He's still just like solidly like that. So he's still a pretty good hero. And so stand-ins and like this isn't something I've seen from them before. So clearly stand-ins are relatively up to date with you know what's going on in the meta. But they did let the Wyvern through and they banned out the Willow. So it seems they've got a raging hatred for Maniac.
Yeah, Maniac they just don't want him to have a game, but Maniac has a large enough pool where I wouldn't be particularly concerned here. Things like his Zeus is still in the pool, which works quite nicely with
Yeah.
Wyvern. We see the Magnus picked up here on Wong's Bakery. Now there's a flex that still works, right?
Yep, it's still a very good hero, still good 1, 2, and 3. Only thing I think that's worth noting is that the hero is actually not that great into Abaddon because of the purge, but it's a very reliable hero, right? Like as much as the hero has some games that are at worst kind of not great, but is so consistent as a hero. So I'm a big fan.
I feel like
We
my
did the same
issue
thing.
with Magnus here is that if you do end up getting an Aghanims on that Abaddon, it's extremely good into Magnus because it purges himself when he gets RP'd, and then he can immediately heal up the person next to him.
That's the thing, right? In certain instances, right, if you're playing entirely around the team fight ulti, for example, like they just picked up the silencer here, so clearly to like counter the big team fight ultimates, if you're running Magnus as a 1, you're clicking people. Like the ulti doesn't really matter. That's kind of part of the flexibility of it, because you can choose between going the more magical damage, sort of like a team fighty style that you could get more on an offlane or a mid, or you could play, and honestly, you can play any of them in any role, but then you also have the option of picking the right click one, which just doesn't give a shit about being silenced because he's already Mask of Madness himself, and he's killing you to death. So
That's true. It's true. We see the pickup of the silencer here as the second hero for the stand-ins. Most likely going to see Jesse James, the People's Champ. Not sure where that name comes from, but definitely what he's calling himself. And Dazzle gets picked up as the next hero for stand-ins. Do we think this is a mid Dazzle for Blitz?
I don't know, to be honest. It could like that. It's a good pick, right? It's a good hero. They can flex it in multiple lanes. I'm assuming that the Abaddon is offline, but I might be wrong there, right? Like that would be the standard thing, but I don't know if JP plays it. That being said, it's not a particularly difficult hero, but we could just see an axe come out here from Wong's Bakery. Weaver first, so that's gonna be
That's a Maniac hero.
yeah, that's Mott's hero. He's been playing it a lot, I think.
Weaver really good this patch with that XP facet, right?
Yeah. They don't have a lot. Like they have the silencer, but other than that, no significant hard lockdown on the side of the stand-ins. So that's unfortunate. I think Axe. I think we might see Axe because I know Shirks plays it a lot,
Mm.
and it's already like Ursa's already out of the pool, so I could see it kind of being pretty reliable here. It's kind of one of his heroes. No, they're gonna leave it. Oh, I guess they already have the Magnus, so I guess that might be just an offlane Magnus, and they're not.
Just
Not
a
gonna play.
little observation here, Faith Can. Why are there so many people in this game in a clan called 1939? And what happened that year?
Oh God, I
Oh
hope it's
no!
unrelated.
I hope it's just a random string of numbers and it's nothing to do with that. Anyway, Ember Spear picked up. It's a Nagi specialty. It's
I
something
sure
that he
hope it's
plays
a random
extremely
string of
well.
numbers, but it wasn't even that's not the fateful. You know what?
Yeah,
This is something to
let's
be
not
left
go
for
there.
admins.
Yeah, yeah, we'll let them handle this. Ember Spirit picked up here. Extremely
Yeah,
good
I'm
hero this
surprised
patch.
it's
Much
all
more of a
Wyvern.
brawling Ember Spirit. Stands
Yeah,
next to you, right clicks you. Really nice into silencer if he builds like a BKB or even like a Yule, something defensive.
it's just
Um,
raw comfort as well.
yeah.
Now he's a really good Ember Spirit player. He's always like Ember Spirit and Invoker, the two heroes you really don't want him to get, except under very like specific circumstances.
Hmm.
But it's a really good hero right now. They will have the ability for a counter pick here, though, if they want to go with an Earthshaker or something. I know Blitz has played that a couple of times before, and it would fill a bunch of the requirements. But the stand-ins are going to go for the axe this time
I
around.
don't love this here. I like the idea of Axe for lockdown for Weaver and Ember Spirit, but it's so weak into Wyvern because as a Wyvern, there's kind of three different opportunities you have to ult. It's at the start of the fight, when the carry BKBs and using the carry, or the best Wyvern ult when their initiator jumps in and they're trying to follow up. And if you're on the ball as Wyvern, Axe doesn't get a game.
You can also just save people with your heal, like it never kills
Yeah.
anybody. I don't like this. Like I really like it they need lockdown. I'm kind of surprised that they left the Earthshaker out because like it gives them lockdown that they need, which is fair. But also seems to indicate that the Abaddon is going to be played as a support, which is also kind of interesting to me.
Yeah, because the
Right?
Dazzle is presumably a mid, right?
It could be one for Bicep Femoris.
He does like
Right.
his funky ones.
But again, they normally leave his pick for last because he's kind of like because he's a versatile player and you know he's a really solid core, right? So you kind of want to and a versatile one. So I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure about this.
They ban out the Earthshaker on Wong's
Yeah,
Bakery
that
now.
would have been really good. They need hard lockdown and it's a free lane versus Ember Spirit.
What other
So
mids at the moment provide that level of lockdown other than Leshrac, which is equally banned?
I guess they do have like it must be the Dazzle mid then, which could be like that's annoying for the Ember Spirit to deal with. But if once the Ember Spirit gets out of the lane, it's kind of nothing, right? So if Blitz does
And he
shut him
dodged
down really
Poison
hard,
Touch with the Sleight of Fist?
I think so, but not reliable. Like the
Yeah.
cooldowns don't match up, right? Like early in the early couple levels, you're just getting clicked and walked at. So it'll be rough. But once it's a lane counter, not a game counter. So that's why I'm sort of like I unless he really feels confident just pummeling the shit out of Nagi, I just don't see it really being that great.
Thinking now about the Coral hero for this game, assuming Coral is not the Magnus, which it very much could be.
Clark,
We see a ban out on the Morphling and the PA and the Lifestealer. Other
Slark,
heroes that what?
Slark,
Slark, you think?
Slark.
Yeah. Slark's pretty good here.
It's
Abaddon, Axe,
a lot of stuff to
Silencer gets
purge.
eaten.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that gets
Yeah.
purged. A lot of like it's a good lane against the axe. It's really good against Dazzle and Abaddon, just save heroes. Right? If that's the attitude that they go is just they're gonna fuck people up.
Oh, and they
The
pick it
Standins
themselves.
took the Slark.
See, when you were saying Slark, I thought you were saying Mark, and I was like, let me finish my sentence, you
Mark.
son of a bitch.
Mark.
Mark, so I just kind of ignored you there for a second. I was like, okay, let me finish my sentence, then you can shout my name like a jilted lover. I'm waiting on this last pick. Wong still have 2 minutes of draft time left.
They're just gonna go get a beer or something.
Yeah.
I'm okay. So the lane's pretty easily into the Magnus, which is fine. But Magnus's lane matchups are normally like perfectly reasonable. Weaver,
I know I've said this a
meh.
few times though. Wyvern's so good to Slark. And
They're going
Broodmother is the Shirk's
Broodmother.
hero. It is going to be a 1 Magnus. Oh, no, Koro's being 1 Broodmother. Interesting.
Interesting.
The product
I
went for
think
Slark.
Brood is generally getting picked up a little more um as a carry than an offlaner. I did not
It's
see
nice
that
with the
coming.
empowerment, right? Like you
I
get
didn't
the
know that he
empower from
played it.
Magnus.
I didn't know that he played it. But wait, so what are these? So it's Jesse is playing. Bicep Femoris is playing one dad. What the fuck?
Yeah,
they
it's
swapped
a
their
mid
roles.
Slark.
I thought Bicep Femoris has traditionally been the one, right? So they
Yes,
swapped the roles, right? So Blitz is
unless it's
playing.
a mid Slark.
and a one dazzle.
I mean, stranger things, Kian. Stranger things.
It's all right. We'll see. I mean, it really depends. Like, I'm not sure about this. This seems odd.
Even just watching this, I'm just imagining the tone of voice that Maniac is using in response to seeing these positions.
I mean, he's only got one tone of voice.
Fucking what?
He has one tone of voice, and it's condescending.
Faith, yeah, stop this. We've made amends. We're doing good this season.
No, he's actually...
I'll be back in this draft. He's a good guy.
And his casting voice, which is actually very good.
Yeah, he's doing an excellent job. I'll be back in this draft. Who are you leaning towards?
Wongs.
Yeah, look at that. They got 800 games of Wyvern.
They got all of the heroes that they seem to want, and the Broodmother might be something that they're... Like, the Broodmother works fine, right? It works good, but just for a different reason, right? Like, than something like a Slark, where it's like, these backline heroes just get eaten the fuck alive, right? So, like, Silencer just gets chewed up by a bunch of spiders, and there's nothing he can do about it.
The other thing that I'm kind of thinking about right now is just in terms of what this Slark can achieve. Is his job this game just to hunt that backline Wyvern?
I guess, right, if he can catch them, right? Like if he gets a Shadow Blade, but most of the time, like I don't know.
Initiation here, JP walking into all the Maniac gets off a huge swarm, follow up with the massive use of that Magnus Q, as well as the Sleight of Fist coming out from the Ever Spirit. 4-man Blood Grenade, Bison Force very low, JP equally falling while no, only Maniac low on the side of Wong's Bakery, but doesn't seem like there's enough follow-up to get him just yet. But Bison Force in some trouble, caught out with that Shockwave coming out from the Magnus, very low HP, another Blood Grenade thrown, but the shield from Jesse James keeps Bicep Force alive. A very minute trade that I think favors the side of the Standins on the count of the Blood Grenades, but does
they won the Blood War.
Yeah.
Right, they have succeeded in the Blood War, which is nice.
They didn't die, which I think is essentially the most important thing there, because that was looking pretty touch and go in the end there, and it doesn't look like it's necessarily over yet. There's still a grouping of them around this rune. It seems like everyone is out for blood this game, and Shirks is standing in the middle of all of them, gets hit up with the double slows of the Battle Hunger, as well as that Silencer Q. A lot of damage is coming out onto Maniac here. Maniac could be in some trouble, could be the first blood. First blood drawn by Heisenberg. Heisenberg gets it on the Silencer. Coral forced to walk away on that Spider. A nice first blood to get. Brain is being drained.
Going for the rune. No, he's not going to get it. Coral pops another web. All right. This is intriguing. That was an interesting start. So who's going where? All right, Blitz was going top, so it's Bicep for Morris mid with the Dazzle. All right.
Yeah.
That's the Dazzle into Ember Spirit. I will fully expect this to go significantly the Dazzle's way, but again, much more of a... He did get the dodge off there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You can dodge that with the Sleight of Fist. It's a 7-second cooldown.
I just figured that the Sleight of Fist cooldown was much larger. Uh-oh.
It's not a bad counter. That's what I was thinking.
It's like half the cooldown of the uh-oh. All right, well,
listen, Faith Kian, sometimes you need a legend to give you some advice during the draft, you know? It's okay. It's all right to recognize
legend.
Today legend. I was an ex-legend too, you know. But in the actuality, looking at these lanes, so as we said, this Dazzle going to have a bit of trouble on account of just being able to dodge out this poison. Just doesn't manage to dodge at that time, actually. Nagi taking a bit of damage there. But even then, can actually dodge out the duration with the Sleight of Fist. So even if you don't catch that initial go, you still get rid of 1 or 2 seconds so that it can't be reapplied.
If it gets on him, I think it kind of sucks. But if he, like, most of the time... right? Like it's gonna be like he seems to be able to dodge it. At the very least, he shouldn't get forced completely out of the wave. And all he needs is a couple of levels to just walk away, like to just like push it out. Although he still is going for the Searing Chains build.
Jump in from Blitz onto Maniac. It's not going to be enough because Maniac is going to have that little bit of the Shikuchi in about 5 seconds as well as all the damage coming out from Shirks. So not able to do anything with that in the end. So far, lanes somewhat even. Coral somewhat struggling from the double DOTs coming out from Papega on this Silencer as well as JP on this Axe. So not getting the farm they wanted. To be honest, I like this double DOT build. It's really, really minimizing the amount of effect they have. And hang on very, very low on Broodmother. Yeah. Almost forced die there on Coral. So a nice start for the Standins.
Yeah, like one of the reasons I'm iffy about the Brood, I think it's a pretty good game for it. But the Axe is pretty good against it, and the lane, it's not a great lane for the Brood. So, I mean, to be fair, the Broodmother is not a great laner, right? Until she gets her 6. But this is one of those situations where even when she does get her 6, you've got an Axe with like call, you know,
yeah, true.
Like
If
the
you have a bunch
thing.
of spiders around you, you are extremely dead. Bicep Femoris now running down Nagi, doing as much damage as he can, pushing waves into this tower. He has a bunch of stat items on the Dazzle that is making him a higher ability to do damage and therefore last hit. Looks like they might make a go here onto this top lane, which I think is probably the most vulnerable lane for the side of the Standins, is this Blitz and Jesse James lane, right?
For like you mean to be gone on?
Yeah, to die. That's what vulnerable means. It means that you're not safe,
I,
Kin.
I would say so. I mean, well, you just said vulnerable, but I didn't know in which sense. You know, who's
Emotionally
vulnerable to who?
vulnerable,
Yes.
vulnerable to right-wing propaganda. I
Well,
don't fucking
just
know.
like you said, it
Speaking
looks
of
like
vulnerable top lane, it goes down.
yeah, he was gonna go down fighting for this, and
And it
it
looks
looks
like
like
Jesse's
there's
also
gonna be
going
a
to drop
second
as
one.
well.
Jesse's gonna go as well.
2 kills in this top lane, 1 going to Maniac, 1 going to Shirks, and a lot of XP swinging their way off the back of that.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, this actually, I really don't think this should be much more vulnerable. Like you've got a Slark and an Abaddon. How do you kill that? How
Yeah.
does that die into a team with like no actual meaningful lockdown, right? It feels like the only reason they died there was because they manned up on an objective which they really shouldn't have. But now that they've gotten that kill, it might end up being a little bit difficult for them. Right, like now that they're behind, it might not. Once you've bled 1 kill, it might be easy to bleed another.
Hamkey trying to make it go onto this 4-minute room, but taking a lot of right clicks out from the silencer. Throws out that blood grenade. This could be a dead Winter Wyvern. 1 or 2 more right clicks. Still has that heal up. Could use it any moment here to stay alive. Goes to the high ground, grabs the heal, gives time for him to come up. But meanwhile, Maniac's in the back line, making it go into Bicep Femoris. Throws out the heal on himself on the Dazzle. No support TP because the support is too busy going in on the Winter Wyvern. And down goes Femoris. And indeed, Heisenberg doesn't get that kill. So Pega, unfortunately, not getting that one. And Kamki able to walk away with their life while the Axe is able to go back and farm as best he can. But that move away was very bad for the Brood because now the Brood is very good for the Brood because the Brood is actually caught up to a significant extent.
Yeah, that was just an excellent rotation from the supports, like both of them showing up to secure both of the other runes and basically forcing it in on Dazzle. So now the whole game plan with the Dazzle seemed to be to try and punish the Amber Spirit, right?
Hang on, another go here on Blinks. Gets hit up with that skewer. A lot of damage. Does have the shield coming off the Abaddon. They're doing a lot of damage to Maniac. Maniac indeed goes down. Blitz, 1 right click from death. Manages to escape this one, but Kamki's here on the Wyvern, ready to chop down this Slark. And indeed, it looks like he will do so. A really nice portal rotation there from the Wyvern. Turns that into a trade between the Weaver and the Slark.
Yeah, this is some real good stuff happening from the supports on Wongs, like Maniac and Kamki, really just like moving it around the map. Like the lanes are all right for them, but like why just go with all right when you can rotate people around and just win every single one, right?
Indeed, and JP facing some trouble here. Hit up with that Splinter Blast. He has the Q up, ready to go. Doesn't spot him there. Nice escape from JP there. Manages to get himself out of what looked like certain death. And meanwhile, Maniac goes mid and manages to dive the tower and take out Bicep Femoris. Brawling all across this map, and a really important kill there for Maniac to pick up.
Yeah.
And Jesse could be in some trouble here from the TP back in from the Ember Spirit. He's choosing to stay and farm. You do not have an ulti on this Abaddon right now. You need to be extremely cautious. Indeed, out goes the stun, and Jesse now looks a little dead.
Is he baiting?
The TP coming in, though, potentially a bait. TP comes in. It's from the silencer, I believe. Yes, Heisenberg comes in on that silencer. Does manage to force out that Ember, but it now does mean that the Axe is alone, and as is the Slark. And while the Slark is left alone, Shirks recognizes that immediately, goes in onto him. But a nice TP now coming off in the Axe onto Shirks. Shirks could be in some trouble. Call up, ready from JP. Only level 4 in this Axe, but ready to take him. And he takes him in that camp as well, which means that Shirks is all but dead. And they leave the last hit for Blitz on this Slark. So a nice turn of events for the side of the Standins.
Something to recover, yeah. I mean, they're getting some scraps here, but I'm kind of worried. It feels like their lanes were basically designed to win, right? Like even Slark was supposed to deal with the Magnuson lane. Dazzle was supposed to deal with the Amber Spirit, right? But instead, the movements and kind of these little outplays are adding up to the point where they're coming out of this, even when I don't really think they shouldn't be. But
Indeed.
while I say
now
that,
I go onto this silencer. Silencer in a huge amount of trouble, taking a lot of right clicks out from this Brood. JP comes in, but does JP have enough to force him out? He definitely has enough to force off that Wisdom Room, but Heisenberg still looking quite dead on that silencer. Indeed, down he goes.
Yeah, he's just gonna give up on the Wisdom Shrine to just kill. But yeah, now he's coming out ahead, and now that the lane's over, like the Brood can just accelerate in terms of farm, right? Like she doesn't need to interact with the Axe really anymore. So
Indeed. So far, looking at the end of this laning stage, not as bad as it could have been for the stand-ins. They're probably happy enough with this, right?
well, they're not getting completely crushed, but they're supposed to be winning, right?
Indeed.
Like,
Now we go on to Jesse James. People's champ in a lot of trouble. Has those bugs on him. One or two more right clicks. All it's going to take. But in comes Blitz on the Slark. Goes immediately onto Kamki. Kamki doesn't have 6 yet, so they don't have that turnaround ability. But Heisenberg equally quite low. Throws out that Splinter Blast. Doesn't connect on anyone. Jesse gets hit up with another Shockwave, but has another shield. Gets hit up also with that Shikuchi. So now it looks like the Abaddon is going to go down. But he might trade himself for this Shirk's Magnus. Nice heal out there from Kamki. Going to keep him alive for now. Can they do enough damage on Blitz? They can, though. And Maniac also in some trouble. One more right click. Not quite enough. So they end up getting the 2-for-1 there in favor of Wong's Bakery.
Yeah, that was I mean, despite I think a mild misplay from Kamki with the heal, because he could have just waited for the RP to end and then done it, and I think they both would have survived. But overall, they're holding pretty fine here. And once we get out of the laning phase, this game becomes, or should become, extremely difficult for the stand-ins.
What makes you think that?
Well, how do they start any fights, right? They've got when Axe gets Blink and Blade Mail, they've got that as an option. But they've got, always got.
Speaking of starting fights, Heisenberg extremely low here. Looks like they're going to lose Pavo. Indeed, down goes Alpha Mega Pega. The heal of Maniac means that Blitz can finish him off as well. So an easy 1-for-0 trade.
They're getting mid, which is something, right?
Indeed, and the Hex out with the Notho Bloom, but there's the follow-up with that Winter Wyvern. Stops JP in his tracks. Can he get the follow-up? It doesn't look like he can. Has that Shallow Grave for now, as well as the heals come from Jesse. Nagi going down. It looks like 2 Bicep Femoris, but the heal coming out from the Wyvern is enough to keep him alive in this instance. But the Dazzle showing that he can be a real menace here.
Yeah.
And Maniac now also might be in some trouble, forced out as well.
Wow, this is quite action-packed.
Indeed. Sorry, I feel like I'm talking a lot, Faith King.
No. This is interesting to me. Like, they're really. I mean, I think the stand-ins are trying to force the issue, right? They're trying to force these things. I don't think they really benefit from splitting up and farming very much. Oh, he's got the heal on the tower. I haven't seen that yet. Neat.
Indeed, I haven't picked it up once. Recursive, way funnier.
It is way funnier. That is true.
Makes you feel good as a support, you know? You get the odd rampage when they mega creeps against you. Doesn't make you feel as miserable in the late evenings. It's nice actually having the Abaddon heals onto the Winter Wyvern.
Sustain. Yeah, they've got the sustain for the push and stuff. Like, this is like they've got a team that's not bad at, I mean, barreling down lanes, but it's 10 minutes into the game and they're only gonna get worse.
Why did they have 2 observers next to each other?
So they get double vision.
2 eyes.
It's a very complicated high MMR thing, Mark.
I never understand that. 3 wards. There's another one over there. Our Handsome observer notices the 3rd.
It's so you know. It's so you can. You're concentrating it all in one area. You get extra vision. It's a very underrated mechanic.
Faith God, what's the opposite of a Cyclops? I'm trying to figure out a Triclops. Is that what we're seeing?
Well, I like it might be having no eyes. That might be the direction to go.
This is like that JD Vance photo that's doing the rounds right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Coral, meanwhile, having an absolute party on this Brood, almost 6k net worth right now. They're doing the Wongs thing that they always do, which is just, if they can do a 4 protective 1 on Coral, Coral comes out and wins them the game. What do they have to deal with the Brood outside of the Axe here?
Well, that's the thing. I think they've got the most amount of... They've got the most amount of tools to deal with Brood. Frankly, of all the cores on the enemy team. Right, Brood's the only one that they've got actually, like, I mean, to be fair, in terms of counter pushing, right, in terms of map play, it's not great, but in terms of, like, fighting the hero, they've got an Axe, and they've got a Slark, they've got ways of, like, getting him, I guess. They're probably better at killing Broodmother than they are at killing Ember Spirit, which is worrying to me.
Indeed, it seems like it. And the Ember's having quite a rough game at the moment. It's only 4,200. It seems like Bicep Femoris is being able to do what he can to that damage. And once he gets that Ags online, this Dazzle with that Ags gets so much utility that might prove itself problematic.
I know we're supposed to be keeping this like vibey in terms of like, oh, who could win? But this is looking really bad, Mark. This is
yeah, don't say that.
This is looking real bad. As in, I felt like their only hope of winning this game was crushing the laning phase. And it swung very hard the other way, and now they've the 3K like Broodmother. To clarify, Broodmother they can kill, but part of why the hero is good is because of its ability to exert map pressure, right? There is no counter push on the side of the Standins, right? They have no ability to clear waves in either of their supports. The Slark can't do it. Dazzle does it okay, and Axe does it all right, but he has to show in them, right? Which is never something you want to do on an Axe.
I don't know, dude. Do you ever shield yourself and use Miscoil? It does like 40 damage to the wave.
It's still very bad. That's most of your mana pool.
I know.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Hang on, go here now onto Blitz. Blitz could be in some trouble here. They do have the RP if they want to use it here. Drops that ulti on the Slark. Slark able to get away for now, but Shirks with a massive skewer backwards. No more mana left on the Slark. Does manage to pop out some mana there, but now Jesse James could be in some trouble. Has the ulti up on this Abaddon if they go on him, so they're going to pop it right now. Down it goes. There's the borrowed time. Follow up with the ulti of the Wyvern. They don't want to let Jesse out of this one. And indeed they won't. He's managing to walk away for now, but Shirks is here once again. Does a little 360 no scope. Pops Jesse under the tower. More food for Nagi. Did you see that little twirl from Shirks there?
Oh. He's putting his heart into it.
Putting on those dancing shoes.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh boy. This is rough.
You reckon?
A bit, yeah.
What can they do to pull themselves back into this if it is such a rough state of affairs as you say it is?
I mean, they can pick somebody with the Axe Blink, right? That's kind of what the problem is. Like, how do they take fights, right? How do they ever take a fight? It's exclusively with either an Axe Blink or the Slark running in, right? And that would require the Slark to be very far, like far enough ahead.
Running in, looks like there's going to be a go in from this Weaver onto Heisenberg. Quarrels in the backlines as well. Manages to chop him down with some media. Jesse James dies immediately thereafter. Sorry to interrupt your thought. There was slaughter occurring.
Yeah, no. I'm always game for some slaughter. Oh boy, this is
Sharks manages to catch the RP onto Bicep Femoris, who does have that shallow grave, but it is purely singing a funeral dirge song as they pick up a third hero across the map. Wong's now starting to accelerate quite heavily.
Yeah, there's no there's no like I'm sorry, but there's no way back in.
Slark has a Midas.
Slark has a Midas, cool. The game's gonna be over in 5 minutes. Like probably, right? Like
only 69 according to Gavin.
I have no they would need to seriously outplay Wongs in order for them to win. And it wouldn't just be an outplay that one of them can pull off. There's no way Bicep Femoris can clutch this game by himself, right? The only hero I think on the side of the Standins that has any playmaking like ability right now is JP, right? So if JP can individually massively outplay Wongs 8 times back to back, then I think they might be able to stay in this game.
That's a really nice shard to pick up there in the Wyvern. For those who don't know, that is when you cold embrace somebody, it sends out Splinter Blast to the other side of the map. If you were a bottom lane and they're top lane, it still hits you. It's got 1200 range almost. It is insanely good in fights in terms of breaking blinks and stopping initiations onto your core. It also, if someone's going on your core and they're trying to run away, it's really nice in terms of locking them down. So, not the shard you want that team to get right now. You probably want the Abaddon shard. Oh, no, you probably want, I don't know. They're all good shards, actually, looking at them. Fuck.
Yeah. Oh, I just noticed that according to the stream, this is a 1-1 game.
Apparently, but
yeah,
not looking like it right now. With an immediate go onto this Dazzle, hit up with a lot of damage coming out now. In comes Shirks, throws out that little bit of the skewer,
might be in trouble.
but still pops down Dazzle. Almost immediately. JP jumps in with that link on the Axe, catches Maniac, and Maniac just drops his ult almost immediately thereafter, and Koro's in now, and Koro has chopped down Blitz in the north of this fight. JP now could be in some trouble. Shirks is here with the Blink Dagger, could try and make a move here potentially, chooses not to do so, recognize the fact that they can just start pushing down this top wave.
Yeah, like
but hang on, JP a little bit out of position, hit up with a shockwave. Nice blink out there. His blink's not cancelled because he has that Abaddon shield on him, so he is able to escape.
Yeah, this is rough. Like they like, there's no way for them to start fights, right? Like, Dazzle can't walk in, right? Because every hero on the enemy team has the ability to just walk away, right? Or kill Dazzle. JP is the only one who can start a fight by blinking someone with Blade Mail, right? But I don't think a single hero on the enemy team even dies to that, right?
You have Core, you have Kamki in the background to keep them alive, even if they do.
Yeah, so it's like, even if he caught them entirely by themselves, he wouldn't kill any of them, right? So
Dazzle pops that Nothel projection. They're making it go
thing.
now. They throw out the Hex out onto the Spider, but the Spider's too far away for anything to be done. They're going on to Maniac. Maniac could be in trouble, but a huge Winter's Curse catches 3 of them. Follow up with the RP immediately
Jesus
thereafter.
Christ.
They're chopping into bits. It's too late, but nice heals there onto Blitz does keep them alive. It is only a 1-for-1 so far. Not too bad. Shirks does manage to chop down JP, but overall that could have gone a lot worse. Jesse James, though, in a big country, dreams can come true on the mountainside. Goodbye, Jesse James.
Unfortunate. The that was surprisingly not devastating considering how it looked, right?
I mean, one of the benefits of being 11k behind is that you do less damage at the Winter's Curse, right?
True. Yeah. One of the things.
The Midas Slark. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah. So true. Yeah. But the thing is, the team fight ultis don't really matter here at all, right? Like RP fucking doesn't matter. The Winter's Curse doesn't really matter. There's no way for them to. Oh, he's got a harpoon on Shirks.
You're onto Heisenberg, and Shirks immediately chops him down.
We're just not at the point in the game where an RP from Mag really matters at all. Like, obviously, if he gets the enemy team, it's fine. Like, it's good, but they all die immediately if they get slight changed. So it doesn't really matter. You know, you can use the big cooldown stun that's flashier, but it doesn't they're dead anyhow, right?
Oral's got 12k net worth lead. Right here.
Yeah, this is really fucking bad.
I'm starting to agree with you. Maybe you know a thing or two about this game, but
this was the only to my eye, the only hope that the Standins had for winning this game was crushing their mid, hitting a good timing, and then just barreling down a lane, right? And then you've got the sustain, and if the Broodmother playing from behind is maybe kind of difficult. Right, maybe they don't have the space, maybe they don't have the damage, right? If they don't have between their supports, maybe they don't actually have the damage if Nagi isn't doing very well. But once they start doing well, there's nothing they can do, right? Nothing ever dies. They have no ability, no playmaking ability on anyone outside of JP. They've got no ability to start fights easily. They've got no ability to push lanes, to make space, to draw people out to start fights. They just kind of group up awkwardly while they lose the game.
Indeed,
Frank.
And speaking of losing the game, those Spiders are now pushing into this top tower, and the big Spider is here to aid it. So already the high ground being threatened from the side of Wong's Bakery. JP is waiting with the blink, but Kamki is right behind Coral. So if anything bad happens here, the follow-up is there. Interesting build on Kamki, actually going for the Yules first. Really nice into the Axe. Very situational for this game, but definitely the correct move, right?
The Yules? Yeah. It kind of doubles down on the never dying. Right? If that was Sam would be going more damage items because funny when health bars go down. But yeah, it's probably the correct call.
Hang on, jump in from Shirks, has the harpoon, immediately out onto the Axe. Axe hit with the silence, does have the heals coming out from the Abaddon, which means they can stay alive for now. Hex coming out from Bicep Femoris onto Shirks, but it's not enough. It's not enough. They walk away from it. Kamki's in on the right-hand side. Kamki could be someone in trouble here, but not quite instead. So they use a lot of OTs there, including the Nothel projection, and they don't get anything for it.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that they've got going for them is the amount of sustain makes saving people quite good, and they are not a high damage team really on the side of Wongs. Right, they're not great at bursting people, so there's plenty of time for the save. But they just reset and go again. You're not going to out-sustain these guys, really, right? They'll just reset, and next time you won't have Grave, or they'll just take your throne, or they'll just take all of your.
The bottom tower is already almost down. It's just being chipped bit by bit by these Spiders. They jump again onto the Axe. Another massive
is he going to get Graved?
From this Magnus. Down he goes. He doesn't have the knock projection, so he can't. Jesse James forced to pop that OT on the Abaddon. Still heals up Coral when he right-clicks you, though, and Coral keeps right-clicking him. Down goes Jesse James, unstoppable now on this Spider. Follow-up onto the Dazzle. Dazzle hit up with those chains coming out from this Ember Spirit. Has Maniac on top of him as well. In comes the little bit of a tip onto Bicep Femoris from Shirks. Follow-up now, though. Looks like the Spider could be in some trouble, and the Spider almost down, does lose the Aegis. So That is the first kill in a while. Kamki drops the Winter's Curse to stop the initiation with the axe, and a 5-man RP coming out from Shurks. 1, 2, 3. Triple kill for Nagi. Will they let him get this rampage? No, Shurks takes it away from Mazda's Coral, but it's a 5-man wipe in the high ground. Buyback to the Slark. These bottom barracks are in peril, Faith Kian.
I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like Shirk stole that from Kamki. I feel like that Wyvern Curse was gonna kill them all, but no, he had to steal it with the RP. They're GGing out. Yeah,
GG is called by the
Yeah.
stand-ins. Game 1, a 23-minute victory for Wong's Bakery. A reminder, they're coming into this game as favorites, only dropping 1 game this entire season so far.
I was incorrect before. It took them 8 minutes, not 5.
Well, good of you to recognize your faults and failings. I'll
we all
point
make
out more
mistakes.
in our second game coming in just a few minutes. You never know, folks. Could be a close one. Very well played there for Wong's Bakery. Let's see what they pull out in this second game. We'll see you in just a few minutes, folks.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. You check as I'm chess, what's happening next? Yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, that's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill no discretion. Your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't wanna place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions in the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft. You can change lives. You create thoughts. Never waste time. You got one shot. You got one life. Better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5. No mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way. What I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me. All the roads we travel, the change of our lives. Take another picture before we say goodbye. On and on we're standing side by side. Memories fade, but legends never die. One last time, let's look for something. I can feel my blood, it's rushing. This ain't goodbye, we'll be back someday. And we will find our own way. Take control of our fate. And like a car with no brakes, crash and learn, make mistakes. And we'll be back one day. wanna hold back. I got dreams, wanna go fast. Know this energy's here to last. Not a glass half full, overflow that. Gotta keep your eyes up on the prize. Only got one life, so it's worth a try. Find what makes you feel alive. That's the only way to live it right. And now we're all doing our own thing, but I'll never forget our glory days. My mind is full of the memories, yeah. And I'll never forget what they meant to me. Don't worry, we'll be back one day to celebrate our glory days. We'll be back one day.
Ladies and gentlemen, everyone in between, after what was a very decisive game one in favor of Wong's Bakery, taking a GG in 23 minutes, we are live with game 2 of the semifinals of Division 1 of the Irish Dota League Season 4. Winner of this game goes on to face the June squad in the finals, and fitfully joining me for this is the June squad offlaner, Faith Kian. Faith Kian, what did you make of that game one?
It was not good. it was not. It wasn't quite the spectacle we were looking for from the casting desk.
Yeah, and Standins have run back the exact same bans.
I hate it. I was gonna ask before we went live to what extent I'm allowed to flame.
The exact same. It's the Rubik has gone as well, so they're just fully targeting Maniac again.
I just look the Maniac's a
Wyvern's
got to
go.
Player. He's got a bunch of a lot of games on a certain subset of heroes, and he's good at those, and you should keep those in mind. But you can't. He plays across multiple different heroes, and he's pretty consistently solid on a bunch of them. And they're wasting bans, and I'm sorry, but they're wasting
the Wyvern's
bans.
through again.
I'm like they let the Wyvern through. They let the
Magnus.
Ember Spirit again, like the Magnus again, right? They're probably just going to run it all back. Oh no, Wongs took the Nature's Prophet this time around, which is fine.
So Wongs take the Nature's Prophet. This is a direct result, I think, of them being second pick this time. Bicep Femoris has been playing a Stormer of an MP in a lot of games this tournament, so they see it. I mean, it's a flex pick, first pick, and it also is a block pick for the draft, so not a bad first pick here, but does open them up to losing that Wyvern on that ban number 5 for the stand-ins.
Yeah. Look, it's nice to... You don't want to run the same strategy twice in a row, right, as a general rule. So it's nice that we're seeing, rather than them just running everything back again, they're trying something else. But again, they still might pick up the Wyvern, right?
Yeah, especially that Magnus pick. I mean, it's one of those things I said earlier. If you have like a big initiator, it's so good. They need to get rid of it. They get rid of the Jesse Abaddon this game, which I'm quite surprised at. While Jesse played it pretty well, I just don't rate it as much as a 5 as it used to be.
I don't think they're really banning it for Jesse. I think it's just in case JP's willing to play it offlane.
Yeah.
Right. I just don't think it's quite that. Yeah, I would also agree. Right. It is annoying, right? It's good to get it out of the pool, just in case.
Indeed. I had a father who sold suitcases called that once. His name was Just In Case, Faith Kian. Anyway, we see a fan out on the Tiny.
I fucking hate you. I just want you to know.
I'm so surprised you didn't see where that was going. You're such a big, smelly idiot. They banned the Wyvern this time, so it is at least out of the pool.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to go back and rant about these bans for a second, all right? Sorry.
Okay.
But
Okay.
So they eventually get to the Wyvern. The Jakiro I'm on board with. But what the... Like, Nyx isn't even a playable hero right now. Right? Maniac doesn't have that many games on it. But they're choosing to ban that instead of Ember Spirit, which Nagi has more so many games on. Right? It's just crazy to me. Right?
Nagi Invo is still in the pool with a Magnus as well, right?
Yeah, it is in the pool, right? Invoker
Shaman Shackles into Sunstrike, right?
Oh no, that's the stand-ins.
Oh, sorry, my apologies. That's a Jesse Shaman, yeah.
Yeah, like the Invoker is
Nature's
still in the
Prophet,
pool as well.
yeah. Nature's Prophet with the Sprout into the Sunstrike, also quite nice.
I think Wongs could have easily just run back the same strategy as before. They're going for okay, this is interesting. I didn't know Shirks played this.
You are a very successful in pro games, very bad in pub games Beastmaster. Can you talk through why they might have picked this?
Oh, the hero just fucking rocks. Like it's got style, but it scales really well. It's flexible in that you can go for like the zoo build if you want, right? If the game's really bad for the other one, or you can go for like the huge magic damage. It's just so consistent. It farms well. It just feels great. You know, you can take.
And you're saying that as someone with a 30% win rate on it. You still think
yeah,
that?
I'm someone who's played a lot of this hero and lost most of those games, right?
Next pick up for Wongs is the Crystal Maiden for Kamki this game.
Likely Kamki, yeah. That makes sense. Okay, that's interesting.
I mean, Crystal Maiden, quite good this patch with the new shield that she applies. It also applies to Beastmaster's creeps. I think the biggest thing here, though, is that DM is a classic pick into Beastmaster and that it immediately pops your boars. So potentially this is a lane securing pick against the Beastmaster, do you think?
It's not impossible. I'm sort of mixed on that matchup. I'm not sure. Look, this might be crazy, right? But I've played it a couple of times. You do everything with the boar. CM uses Frostbite on the boar. 3 boars in, she's out of mana.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, you got what? 150 gold? I'm going to kill you now. Because you don't have any mana anymore. And then, she starts popping mangoes. But all of a sudden, when you're going on the CM, if you have like a support that's worth a shit in lane, she's using her Frostbite for the boar. Right? So it's just free. I'm not sure how worth it that is, but I've had a lot of success in that setup. But I think the hero just stands on its own as like, because with the Q, right, with the new facet, right? She's just a really solid laner, better than she used to be, right? Quite viable right now. I'm not sure how it ends up pairing with the Prophet though, is the only thing.
Next pick up for the Standins is the Ancient Apparition. 54% win rate this patch. Looking pretty good as a 5. Blocks a lot of picks. And also not the worst at dealing with the Beastmaster go.
It's not that bad into Beastmaster. The only thing I would say is that the hero really doesn't do the lifesteal shit anymore. Like, he gets a bit of it as innate built into his ags. But I actually didn't even realize that was a thing until I read the text. Like, it's not really... Like the Bloodstone heal up thing isn't really what it used to be. It's more about jumping in and just doing a shit ton of magic damage to somebody.
Rumor has it that you had your world rocked by an Archon Ancient Apparition earlier today, Faith Kian, so I don't know. It seems like a kind of good hero.
Maybe, but in maybe this I think might go a little differently. It's not bad, right? It's not bad at all. But I also don't think he's particularly good in lane against Beastmaster.
My concern here for the AA is that the Beastmaster can pop him. The NP, if it's a core, can also pop him. That's a JP Legion Commander, one of his favorite heroes, specialist hero. Good into the CM. Don't particularly rate into the Beastmaster. I the beast itself.
It's like a good Legion Commander game is kind of difficult to come by, but the purge is really good against the Beastmaster and the Crystal Maiden. Right, you purge off the roar on somebody, and you don't really want to be roaring the Legion Commander. Right. So it's not bad. Like, I don't hate it at all. It's just, Legion Commander as a hero feels more like a last pick. Having 2 picks left, could be rough. But the thing is this going to be a 1 Prophet? Does Maniac play it as a 4?
Yeah, it's the same question I asked myself. I mean, I haven't seen him play it before, but it's not a particularly high skill 4, is it?
I don't really know. I think it might be. I think
there's
it is.
The Nagi Invoker called that earlier. Yep.
Yeah. So scary. Yeah, it's scary. Like I'm kind of mixed here. I think it might be a last pick for Maniac. It would be my guess. I think it is kind of difficult to play 4 because I don't really see it very much. But I also don't know if it's very good as a 4. Frankly, it is mostly being played as a core right now. I think.
The change they made last patch definitely does weaken as a core. You no longer have the Sprout leash that you used to have.
Yeah, but
I don't think that Wongs want to go that late potentially here. Although the Invoker does suggest potentially a slower tempo than last game.
Like the Prophet, like Prophet as a 1 matches up really well with these 2 other cores because Beastmaster's a bit greedy and Invoker's a bit greedy, right? To be honest with you, Beastmaster, I've had this conversation a couple times, and I stand by it. Beastmaster and Invoker is enough of a win condition in and of themselves. You don't need an extra carry past that. The 2 of them can win a game by themselves. You just need someone to run tempo for them. So the Prophet, well, would make sense. for them, to be honest. The only thing is the lane of the Prophet and the Crystal Maiden, I'm not a huge fan of, just because I don't think he would really stand in a position that would use the Q, right? For, like, he wouldn't be hit by the Q from the CM. So like it's a perfectly solid lane. It's just, feels a bit iffy.
This is an interesting thing that I don't think we've seen before in Irish Dota Faith, Ken. I want to point out, if they ban a support here, the Standins might be the first team to ban a full suite of supports.
Which is interesting. Oh,
and
Jesus
they do.
fucking Christ.
They haven't banned a single core.
I take serious issue with this. I hate it so much. But to be fair, I mean, they can just, they're banning this when they could just run the Prophet 4 and then pick, like, Ursa and just eat JP alive.
They do have ultimate last pick on the side of the Standins.
Or like Dusa or some shit, right? Like they've got, if they decide to turn this, the thing is that Beastmaster, like lanes don't really matter as much as they did before. Beastmaster is a solid enough laner, he'll be able to eke anything out regardless of the Prophet. They got plenty of damage. If they're gonna play Prophet as a support, this is a perfectly reasonable game to do it in. Right?
Yeah, and it feels like, I think the Dusa pick in particular is quite nice. It's not particularly susceptible to the burst from the Mag or the Legion Commander. It doesn't care about AA.
Yeah,
it's not a bad pick.
Like Moth is a great drafter, right? Like he's really, really good at setting himself up in situations like this where it just feels like he could kind of do whatever he wants. It's the same as the last game where it's like, it could have been Broodmother. It could have also just been something completely different, but it doesn't really matter, right? They're going to ban the Dusa, interestingly. So I'm kind of curious, right? I'm curious what route they're going to go down here, because they've got the option with the Prophet, right? They can flex it one way or the other if Maniac wants to play it.
Here it comes out. The final pick is the Ricky. Which is the Maniac Ricky.
Yeah, that's Maniac 100%. Ricky. I don't even know if this hero is pickable anymore, but it is pretty fucking good here, frankly.
It's good into Shaman. It's good into AA. It's really good into Legion. It's good into Magnus. I kind of like it.
Yeah. See, this is the thing where they're banning all of his most played heroes, but like, if I remember correctly, Maniac's played a lot more Ricky than he's played Dark Willow or Spirit Breaker.
Nah, he plays a lot of Dark Willow. The Spirit Breaker, yes, I agree.
No,
the
like
last
recently,
of the Standins is the Juggernaut.
Juggernaut, I don't like that at all.
So you're still leaning Wongs in this game too, Fit?
Yeah, I'm leaning Wongs. I mean, the hero is not great. I guess it's all right.
Ward, right?
They've got that. Like, it might be pretty. It's again. This is lane, right? This is all for lane, right? So like the Juggernaut is 2 lane into the Beastmaster, and like you spin plus the AA, right? You that's a decent punish for a Ricky and a Beastmaster lane, right? But half of the problem is that one of the reasons why Beastmaster is so solid is he just backs out and farms. Right? And do you think that the team of the Stand-ins is going to be walking into the enemy triangle at, I don't know, like 7 to 8 minutes into the game? I don't think so.
I think my concern here is just that, like, the Juggernaut doesn't have the option of the TP out either, because you're either going to have a Maniac Ricky on you, in which case you can't spin TP, or you're just going to get roared when you try to it.
Yeah, the silence is absolutely devastating. It's not bad into the Crystal Maiden. It's not bad into the Invoker. Like those are pretty. It's pretty fine for. But the hero is not particularly good either. So I just don't see, like, when push comes to shove and they don't just need to win lanes, right? Like it's really just, the game doesn't really function like that at the moment. It's not about winning your lane. You need to also be able to force the issue and stop them from farming. And I think they can they'll win the lane, but they won't stop them from farming. In fact, they might be a bit greedier of a lineup, right? Between the Mag, the Legion Commander, and the Jug, the Mag, none of these heroes want to leave their lanes, right? They don't want to group up and push. They want to farm. You need your blinks on your 2 and your 3, and to be frank, I don't think Blitz wants to see a team fight until he's farmed up. So, like, it's just kind of iffy to me, frankly. But we'll see. Like, I like this. For the record, I like their draft here a lot more than I like the draft in the other game. So
Maniac walking towards this high ground, pops the smoke. They do have the CM to scout that high ground alongside the boar and the tree. The two of them alone might do enough to Jesse James jump in from Maniac, but a huge use of the Q there from this Legion Commander. Follow up though from Camkey with that guard as well. spreading a lot of damage. Both teams have a few heroes who are low, but nobody low enough to go down for now. They're still engaging in this chase. Jesse James, the last one left behind. Can Camky land the Q? He can't. So in the end, it's going to be a killless soy start to this game, Faith Kian.
Unfortunate, but they recognized they weren't going to win it and they backed out, which is good. We still might trade even on runes.
Indeed, they might, with the Magnus going deep into the jungle to try and score that one. Looks like it's going to be a pretty clean 2-2. Jesse James, though, hanging around. Could be in some trouble here if he's not careful. But he does manage to secure that rune. Gets the follow-up with the shot. Goes out onto Maniac. Do they have another spin on the Juggernaut? They throw out that blood grenade. Jesse looks like he's going to be first one going down.
Might die as
the
well
hubris of going for the rune was too much. And now they're going on to Blitz. Blitz could be in some trouble here. Taking a lot of right click. Shirk's on top of him. Looks like he is just about going to live this one. But a nice first blood. And forcing that Juggernaut back to tower before the wave.
Denied the boar. The bastard.
Oh.
It
It's
had
a
so
nice
much
start to the lane.
no kill shelter. Unfortunate. Yeah, alright. Here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Woo!
Much like a wise man once said. Here we go.
So Nagi made against Bicep Femoris. Bicep Femoris once again picking up the mid lane for this game. Camky, ooh, taking a lot of damage there from that Q.
I like the top lane. Like I do think the top lane has actually a lot more kill potential than in the last game, or rather their off lane. Sorry, on the side of the Standins because they have swapped sides of the map. So I'm sort of like I'm feeling this. You know, I think this could go well. I think bot they could also go like I think their lanes are better at being won this time around. But I'm unsure if even if you do win your lanes, that's enough. If that makes sense.
It does, because they have so much ability to just kind of back out, go jungle on the side of Wongs that they can just take it a little bit later, and it definitely puts the side of the Standins in a bit of a timer, doesn't it?
Yeah, also the mid matchup is like much more even for Nagi, right? Like before it should have been a crushing, but like now Nagi's just gonna have a free lane. So they should win the other lanes pretty easily. But it's just like the patch just really is not as much about winning your side lanes as it was before, right? Like you get these hard counter matchups, but like you're laning really strong hero sets into really strong hero sets. So it's much more about, you know, trying to maximize your farm in a situation where it's really difficult to kill people too much. And of the two teams, I think one of them is much better at that than the other in terms of their draft. Because like look at already, Shirks is just exploding out onto the into the game, right? So, like, in terms of, yeah, this doesn't look good already.
Jesse James being gone on by Maniac, has a follow-up of the boars, throws out that shackle, but it's not going to be enough. Jesse James going down now to Shirks, so Shirks on top of the 14-1 picks up a nice kill for himself.
I think they already missed their window here, frankly.
At 2 minutes?
Yeah, no, so the, like, the reason why the Juggernaut is, and like the shaman can be good into the Beastmaster is because when like he's kind of weak level 1, right? And so is the Ricky. So you just use you use your shit on him and then you run him down with a spin and you get the level advantage and then he's always killable, right? But the first 2 waves have come and gone. Shirks has his level 3, which is the point where the boars level 1 are kind of shit. Level 3 is when they start getting real solid.
Hang on, in comes a Sunstrike from Nagi and connects onto the Juggernaut. So another kill in this bottom lane going in favor of Wong's Bakery. A really nice use of the Sunstrike there. Secure that kill in the Jugger.
This will only get worse. Right, as in once you have the boars up, then the spin doesn't matter. Like you get the attack speed slow and the regular slow. And if anyone steps out of line, they get like slowed up by the boars. And then they get jumped on. And so there's no, like the Juggernaut will be forced to use his Q defensively, right? At which point,
if I ever like a family member die, just remind me not to tell you. It's like, yes, Mark, your grief is bad, but it's only going to get horrendously worse. That
is the advice I was given at the passing of a recent family member.
Your family sound like a hoot.
So I don't know. Maybe listen to good advice.
If anyone who didn't know, guys, Faith Kian's dog died last week. So if we get some nice mess in the chat. Actually, sorry, one very important thing I forgot to mention in game 1. My co-caster was changed to the last minute because tonight it is the birthday of a very special boy. Happy birthday to Taylor Farron.
Everyone in
our
the chat,
dearest
say it
Taylor.
with me now.
Some happy birthdays to Taylor in the chat. Oh God, Blitz does not have his
you.
birthday.
Happy. We're not gonna. No.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. Blitz is having whatever the opposite of birthday is. I guess a funeral is fitting.
It's just
Um,
yeah. And now,
and
like,
Jesse
he gets
James
yeah.
making a go with the shackles. He's doing what he can, but he's looking pretty damn dead there on that little tiny. Oh, he has the escape extinguisher. Maniac is not allowing that to happen. He wants to make sure that he knows who's in charge of this lane.
Yeah. This is again only gonna get worse.
Indeed.
So that's nice. The
4-0 right now.
Top and mid are going pretty well, right? They're trading pretty even, right? They're trading relatively even, but I feel like they needed to win these lanes last, right? So I would call that an actual, like, this bottom lane's going pretty terribly, but this game is, in my opinion, going much better for the Standins than the previous one was, right?
Still within 1k.
I mean, Sunstrike. Yeah. As if
Nagy, huh? Good player.
Yeah, the Sunstrikes are an underrated thing. Thing is, they don't really have much setup for them, so I'm kind of curious. Like he's just good at it, I suppose.
Nagy just kind of good, yeah, I guess. You gonna let this guy have Invoker in your game?
Yeah, shocking. Maybe.
I mean, if they win, I think, yeah.
They win.
Rumor has it people are making plans for times the final already. I don't know about that, but we'll have to wait and see. Bicep Femoris coming through. Jesse James does spot out that Ricky, so is
Jesse's
able
coming
to
into the rooms that Heisenberg isn't. This just feels like one of those situations. Jesse's doing the correct thing here, but
Indeed,
if you're outnumbered, it doesn't matter, right? Like
here comes Maniac onto Bicep Femoris. He has the tricks of the trade. Can he finish him off?
He's got
One more right is
haste
all he's going to need. And indeed, down he goes. He gets the haste rune, gets the kill onto the mid laner. Kamki actually gets the last hit there. Kamki himself could be in some trouble here, caught up by Jesse James, but
runs away, right?
Too speedy, yeah. Gets off the slow as well, so Jesse not able to engage onto that CM. They get nothing in exchange for the loss of their mid laner and the power rune. But hang on, in comes Heisenberg, drops off that little frost vortex, as well as the follow-up with those blood grenades. There's a lot of damage on Kamki, could fish him down, and indeed, they do get a kill here, and a really nice one indeed.
Do we know how many kills they finished on in the last game?
A lot.
Yeah, it was a lot, right? No, but I mean the stand-ins.
A little.
All right. Yeah, you really are an English teacher.
I don't deal in numbers. I deal in thoughts.
In feelings. No, you just feel like I don't even know it. Like it's not even thoughts. Thoughts are philosophers, right? What is an English teacher? Words, just words,
I wish I
right?
knew. I'm not even one right now. I'm on the sick, as they say in the UK. But they have Roar on Shirks right now. They can make a go onto Blitz here. He winds it up, doesn't get it off. So mid animation manages to get out.
He might have just decided not to. I'm not sure. Like it might have been fogged. It might have just decided not to. But like using the spin like that is like not the situation you want to be in here.
And now doesn't have it now, so can be gone on. Jesse James could be hit up with the boar. Maniac's here, as is Kamki, hanging around the right side of this lane. He is spotted by Jesse James, so they know he is there, but will that be enough? Maniac still clinging on to the left-hand side of this lane, making them know the threat is here. Walk away, but hang on now. It is a root up from Jesse James. Follow-up with that stun, but out comes the Sunstrike. It hits both of them, which in this case is a good thing, because it means they're able to get a double kill. They TP on Heisenberg, but it's not even enough to take out Maniac. Now Heisenberg's going to be dove into tower. Shirks on top of him. Kamki ready to follow up the bird, ready to dive bomb down onto that AA, taking a lot of damage on him now. Blood grenade comes out from Maniac, and down he goes. Double kill for Shirks in this bottom lane. It's a 3-for-0 off the back of that engagement.
Like I said before, I think that stand-ins have a better draft this game. I actually also think that Wongs have a better draft this game. I know, obviously it's relative, right, based off of what you're trying to do and what's presented to you, but they just have the roar. It didn't even occur to me, the roar Sunstrike. Just because, like, to be honest, I'm not sure if he even needs it most of the time, but how much damage that's gonna do, right? Just offhandedly, Shirks is 4.4k net worth at the moment, right? Like he's at its like almost 9 minutes in. They're really just storming through. To be fair, Bicep Femoris is doing a pretty good job keeping up. Like he's really having a farm on. This is a game where I feel like he could have more of an impact, right?
Jesse James
Yeah.
hanging on his high ground, gets off the shot, goes out onto this
he?
beast smash, but there's no 6 on the Juggernaut. Heisenberg comes in, as does this Magnus. Bicep Femoris drops onto Shirks.
Huge.
They get that kill, but Jesse James getting the last, unfortunately.
Tactically using his Q and stealing it from his carry.
He
Incredible.
has to pad those stats, has the Omni Slash still on Blitz. Blitz chasing down Kamki, but now Maniac's coming back in. Kamki also turning. Jesse, though, with the ward, catches out Maniac on this Ricky. Could be in some trouble.
Incredible.
Down he goes, and a follow-up with the Omni Slash onto
Damn
Kamki as well. It's a 3-for-0 in favor of the Standins.
We're getting ourselves a fucking game. Incredible. All right. Perfect. Yeah. They're playing this well. They're like, again, like I said before, I think this is a better game, a better draft for Wongs, but it's also a better draft for the Standins. In that they are actually capable of making moves on the map and doing things. Right? And once these team fights start happening, you're no longer relying entirely on JP blinking on somebody. You've also got Bicep Femoris. Right? He's basically in a situation where he can play make, whereas on the Dazzle, if he didn't crush his lane into the ground, there was no ability for him to do any playmaking. But now he's got some flexibility, and this guy is really dangerous when he's got some flexibility.
So JP making the decision to go for the Blade Mail first to boost up that farm before the Blink Dagger. Do you agree with that decision here?
There's the common trend where like you'll have the situation where the Blink is considered better from an objective standpoint, but without the Blade Mail just makes killing stuff so much easier. Like I don't even think it's a farming thing. I think it is literally like I could get a blink and I could blink and duel people, but I don't think most people die if I just blink duel them. I need the Blade Mail, which I think is reasonable. If you're capable of playing really fast with a lot of damage, then the blink first is good, right? But
into a Ricky, it's maybe different, right?
Yeah, like it's just not like it's putting a lot of faith in your team to be able to deal the damage. And Heisenberg just got his Midas delivered, but you just don't really have that right now. Maybe if Magnus had the other facet, it might be worth considering, right? But I assume he's doing the right click one.
Go now out onto JP. They have the stun coming up, Crystal Maiden. Follow up with the silence also from this Ricky here. Freezing Field comes out alongside those tricks of the trade. Here comes another Blood Grenade from Maniac as well. JP. One more right clicks. Oh, it's going to need to keep him alive, but he does pop off that one, so he is out for now. They throw out the ult on the AA. It doesn't quite connect with either the support to the side of Wong's Bakery, but he walks towards the portal and he's caught up by Maniac.
Oh, wait, hold on. He's going to...
here at Kamki with the follow-up damage. He does have that ult if he wants to use it. He pops out the heal. He manages to get away from this one, and it's Maniac instead who goes down. They don't get the duel, but they do get the kill. But follow-up. Oh, Nagi is filthy.
All right, that was a lot of information to process there. That was some great juking from JP. But he really, I think they got a little greedy, maybe a little cocky on the side of the Wongs there, trying to get it.
The Sunstrike fate, yeah.
Yeah, it was this man can strike some suns, that's for sure. Oh boy.
What's wrong, Faith Kian?
I just realized that I don't like that sentence very much.
Oh no! I think they banned that in my profession a while back. Hang on, go here now. Out of Kamki. Kamki's very dead. But they have the silence of Maniac. Really big play there from the Ricky. They're trying to make it go here. They have the RP. They might pop it. Maybe they do, but they don't manage to catch him near the backlines. They do get Maniac with the duel. Bicep Femoris, though, doesn't manage to get the kill despite dropping the RP. Does TP out of this one. Shirk's coming in now on the Beastmaster. Nagi also here on that Invoker. They get off the shout onto this Legion Commander. Follow up there, Deafening Blast. Nice heal from JP. Looks like they might just have to give away the life of Jesse James. And for once, the Sunstrike doesn't connect, so they do get a double kill. It is a 2-for-1, but it could have been a lot worse.
It was all right. Like they kind of, I think RP got a little bit whiffed. Oh, here in for the pause. DDoS attack.
Oh my god. Lags.
Russian bettors are really making some real money on this one.
You see, Faith Kian, normally that's a funny joke, but Heisenberg is quite literally in Belarus. So we can't make that joke this stream.
I mean,
It might literally be the Russians taking away his internet, Faith Kian. We can't do this.
There's only like a 20% chance that's what's happening right now.
Fair enough. It's fair enough. I always ask him, hey, Heisenberg, how you doing? He's like, good, but still living in Belarus. It's always the same introduction, and I love it. It's fantastic. Looking at this game stance right now, it's 3k at 12 minutes rather than like the 6k from last game. Is there a way back into this game? Is it the Magnus?
Yeah, they've got a couple, frankly, right? They've got a few. I like this, right? They've got playmaking potential. Magnus is a big one. RP, always good. Always a good ability. But you know, a good Legion duel, right? A good Omni, right? They've got ways of making stuff happen. Even just a good AA blast could be really impactful here. So I'm feeling it this time around. Other one, right? I'm not like I felt like they were completely doomed. The other one,
I could tell.
but this one, like not just a little bit, but like completely doomed. Whereas this one, they've definitely got outs, right? Like that, it's really just an execution, right? Which is good.
And JP farming on very low HP could be cut out here. Instead, they start going towards the wrong Roche. But now they'll go towards the real one.
They've Ags on. All right, so they're just gonna go for it. That's nice. All right, they're gonna play at a fast pace here. They're just gonna go for the Roche. This is one of the major benefits of the Beastmaster, is that you can do it early. But although they might just walk at the enemy team, that's also possible.
That was actually the name of my boss in the army.
Enemy team. Walk at.
Major benefits.
Major benefits. Incredible. What
the
fuck happened? Right? Did you also hit your head? I don't remember you being a huge pun guy. This is new.
Come on, that one was too good, dude. I could not. Come on.
Yeah, but like this is very strange.
I only make jokes in good fun. You ginger prick. No, it looks like this
that's
Roshan
more
is
like
gonna go. Looks like this Roche is going to go down.
Never
Aegis going
traditionally
into
been
the
a pun
pocket
guy.
of Shirks. Shirks takes the Aegis, and now they're going to start marching down this mid wave.
Maybe I should call somebody. Make them check on you.
I think Samaritans already blocked your number, bro. You cried one too many times. Now it looks like they're going to start marching down this mid lane. 3k net worth lead right now in the favor of Wongs. Interesting enough, not choosing to go to set up for this Tormentor quite yet. Or is that what this move is right now?
It must be. They didn't do the. Did they do Roche?
They did.
They did. Sorry, it's just not showing up on the thing, right? So they got the Roche. So the smoke up feels optimistic. Feels like they were hoping to catch someone on the side of the stand-ins when they split up, but they're staying together, and now it looks like
Jesse
getting alive. And Heisenberg.
And Heisenberg is popped almost immediately. Tries to Midas creep on the way out, but can't quite make it. Shirks on a killing spree now. JP is here. They look like they still want to fight without the AA blast. No,
they might. They're running. They're just going to beeline for Nagi. Like, they could totally get him.
Potentially could be in some trouble here on this Invoker. They don't have the vision necessarily to catch him, but Blitz could run into him. Maybe Nagi is the danger, though. He could catch Blitz here with the right combination of spells, but instead, just going to be like those videos where bears and humans run into each other, you know? And they both run away.
Oh,
but hang on, Jesse James has him. Does he have the vision?
I think
he
has
has
him.
Wards up. He catches him in those serpent wards, and now they're going to get the duel onto him as well.
Kill.
A really big kill. Jesse gets the kill as well.
Nagi kind of in a purely like a significant advantaged game, feeding out of position. A very Blinks move, if I might say so myself.
What do we think about hang on, now going to JP. JP looking quite dead. Has the smoke screen on top of him as well. Shirks now dominating on this Beastmaster. Jesse James does take out Maniac's Courier, which is something, I suppose.
Yeah, this is some good Beastmastering. They're both from Shirks and from his team, right? They're playing around it pretty well.
Interesting as well, Maniac is sponsored by a game called Stormworks, which I hear is an excellent search and rescue sandbox game that you should totally check out on Steam right now, made by a very handsome group of individuals. Heard it's a very good game.
Is this a bit?
No, it's Auntie's game.
Oh, that's cool. Hold on, I'm checking it out on Steam right now.
It's very good. You should check it out after the game where we're casting. Now, Silence comes out onto the Juggernaut.
That's pretty good. I kind of like this.
Yeah, you should check it out.
Why don't we cast this instead?
Yeah, we could do a Let's Play. What do you reckon, Auntie? We do that? Give us a plus in the chat if you think we do that. But in actuality, looking at this net worth right now, still a 5k net worth lead for the set of Wongs. The Beastmaster holding steady with the 9k. I think the big difference here is JP, almost 4k behind the opposing offlaner. How do you bring this back?
The hero doesn't farm, it's just from fights, right? It's like Beastmaster farms like hell. Legion Commander does not, right? So if you're going to get this, it's going to be pretty much exclusively from taking good team fights. So, it would be nice if the hero could, split push, but no.
Hang on, Jesse James here, caught out with the blink from this Beastmaster. Beastmaster's going to be hit up with that ult coming out from the AA, but with Core on this fight as well, they choose not to engage, and especially because you still have this Aegis on Shirks, so not a fight want to go in on. Jesse James just loses his life there.
Yep. Yeah, just kind of even if he doesn't have the Aegis, I don't know if the fights are really takeable for them, like in a direct team fight sense right now. They're wisely just splitting the map as hard as they can.
Indeed, and Bicep Femoris now moving in for his next item, looking to go into finishing up that blink into BKB. I mean, that's kind of their team fight in a nutshell, right? If they can pull this off, that's kind of their only way back into this, don't you think?
Yeah, like I think so, right? Like I think that's going to be a lot more likely of an outcome than like a blink duel, right? But that's only if they're, to be fair, it's only if they're taking a direct team fight, right? As in, if they do a good job splitting the map, then a blink duel could be like what they need, or what gets them, or like puts them back in the game or in a comfortable position. Only problem is they've got a really significant global presence and like a really good vision game on the side of Wongs, right? With the Ricky, but also with the Invoker and the Prophet. So splitting, kind of hard. And
one of the other things actually we didn't mention in terms of the synergy that I want to point out here is Nagi can actually use the Invoker steroid onto the Ironwood tree, and we saw how fast that tower went down when he did.
Yeah, it can be pretty scary. Like the hero, like the Treants don't even really need the level 25 talent. They do a considerable amount of damage to towers already. It's only when you hit the 25 that it really pops off. But I
believe you saw in your gamers this time.
Indeed we did. Man, I actually. That game, like losing that game, won me so much MMR. Realizing how that worked, but on both sides of the coin, knowing how strong that was, won me quite a few games. Gotta say.
Thank you to Bicep Femoris. What can you say?
The dude was ahead of his I don't know. Like we knew he was. For the record, I believe he's like a Nature's Prophet player, regardless of the patch, right? Because it was relatively recent into it. Like I don't think the hero had really been discovered when he played it against us. But incredible foresight and theory crafting by all accounts.
Maniac here on the Ricky is able to break that smoke attempt. They do still have the smoke on the Magnus, and Jesse James, who's very far forward right now, pops the smoke but doesn't manage to get the vision onto Maniac in the first place. And now they have it. He does have that follow-up with the smoke screen and the jump away, but now he's caught out with a nice harpoon coming out from the Magnus, follow up with the Hex. They do manage to chop down the Ricky.
It's maybe not ideal, but like it's something, right? Like they're down 6k net worth at 20 minutes, but like getting something out of that is nice. Honestly, I think Maniac maybe played a little reckless there, but I don't think he hates it too much. I think like it's good. It's good for the side of the Standins. I think that they got something there, but it's not.
He tanked the Gek.
Yeah, well, I mean, he already tanked the smoke, right? He could have just left. But it is what it is. He took a risk to try and give his team more vision, maybe see if they could, re-engage or something, and he dies for it. The trick is there, though, that you're supposed to pop, though. As soon as the smoke pops, you're supposed to pop the dust. I guess he wasn't sure whether or not it was popped by someone out of vision or not, but if it gets popped by someone in vis, the break range on smoke, I believe, is considerably smaller than the dust range, so you should see.
While we're talking, JP does get a successful duel out onto Camkey. Maniac throwing down that smoke screen, but it's not quite on time for him to be kept alive, so a bit of dual damage going into the back pocket of JP on this Legion. Still only 30 at this point, though.
Yeah, it's not great, but it racks up really quick. What I'm more interested in is the dual damage is whatever, because once you get later on, like one duel, is enough to put you back in, right? Like depending on like what level the duel is when you take the duel. But what I'm more interested in is how much more farm he's getting out of it, right? He's still lagging behind, but these kills put him in the game, right?
Bicep Femoris tries to make go there with the harpoon, doesn't quite connect onto Maniac, getting the fade time back there, and now Shirk's in immediately onto Jesse James. Follow-up of that Sunstrike. Jesse James going down immediately. Looks like Maniac's going to make a go into Bicep Femoris as well. Do they have the follow-up? Doesn't look like it.
Back into the smoke.
Back in with that big use of the harpoon, but manages to escape there with the skewer, running away from the tornado like a Kansas family without a shelter, and manages to escape it just in time. Alternative cut of the Wizard of Oz right there.
I haven't seen the sequel, but have you seen Twister? Running away from the tornado like Bill Paxton would probably be a more topical reference.
Yeah, but it relies upon people seeing Twister.
Or Twisters, although Bill Paxton wasn't in Twisters. Like Daisy Ridley.
I didn't see Twisters. I've been on the Twister ride at Universal Studios. Does that count, Faith Kian? Am I suitably cultured for you?
Also there?
I don't know about Paxton is. Jump in onto Koro, but a really nice follow-up
shit, that
of
was a good
that
duel.
and a massive use of the
Uh-oh.
tornado with the
Oh,
follow-up. But hang
God.
on, they're all being melted. Nagi
Oh.
pulls off the Teamfighter Dreams. Blitz goes for the Omni Slash, but it's not enough. But that huge tornado with the follow-up of that Cataclysm is enough to pop this fight 5-2 in favor of Wongs from what looked like a decent fight start.
Yeah, that was a really good initiation from JP, but unfortunately, much like the film Twisters, none of our heroes could stand against the concentrated power of the sun. I assume that's what happens in the film Twisters.
Famously, Twisters created by the sun. Yes, geography
Yes, I don't
teacher
know.
here.
They have to, like, I haven't seen it yet. It could be sun related. The lore in Twisters, like Twister, right, is that the tornadoes are like sort of alive. So I don't know.
The worst. It's always what people who survive tornadoes say is the worst thing was how sunny it was. And they forget to put on sunscreen.
I think the worst thing is that everyone I know in my family is dead and all of my belongings are destroyed. But
Not
also,
all of them,
you
Keen,
know,
just a few. You don't need to be so dramatic.
just a few. Just anything that isn't tornado proof.
I'm tornado proof.
I don't
know
know,
what that
buddy.
means.
I don't think you're not even street proof.
Aw, bro. You don't have to do that to me like this. I am a disabled Irishman, and I do not deserve this level of hate that I'm getting. Speaking of hate, it looks like Roshan is taking a pummeling now from the side of Wong's Bakery. 10k up now, 24 minutes. The side of the Standins, very little they can do to try and contest this one. Pick up the Aegis here onto Coral, up to 11k now. Looks like they're going to use this to parlay their way into a faster victory. I know Maniac was looking to get early Betty bye-byes, so this could be the fight for them. Bicep Femoris could be brought out here by Nagi. Nagi's here with that Ghost Walk. Doesn't quite see him yet. Now he does. He's right on top of him. He has the Ghost Walk on him. Can he see it? He does. He blinks and skewers away immediately out of dodge. So very good in terms of spotting the danger there from this Magnus. Good heads up play. And now JP's in the back lines. He could catch Nagi here if Nagi's not careful.
No.
Nagi's walking up this high ground, but Nagi says, I am the danger, JP. You're the one who needs to blink out. Indeed, out he does blink. Meanwhile, Jesse James blinking immediately onto Blitz, tries to save him, but is unable to do so. Gets the Hex set onto Shirks, but Shirks chops him down in fast order. Follow up the Ice Blast, but it's not going to do enough. Out comes the RP, but the follow-up ulti from Kamki means that Bicep Femoris is forced out of this one instead. It's still a 2-for-1. Make that a 3 with a jump in. They do manage to kill off Shirks, but it's a 3-for-1. Almost 4 now as Koro is jumping in onto Alpha Mega Pega on this AA. So it ends up being a 4-for-2. They lose Maniac, make that a 5-for-2. Team wipe in favor of Wong's Bakery, and they still have their Aegis intact.
Do you think Maniac's more of like a honk shoe sleeper or like a me sleeper?
Question. I think
That's what I was
think it's
thinking
more
about
like
that
a.
whole time.
If I was to like guess the noise Maniac makes, it's like a.
I get what you were going for, but that felt a little weird.
Okay, there was okay. Just for context, there was nothing sexual implied from my comments. Faith
Alright,
Yan
yeah.
always assumes that because of our history together. It was not
Yeah.
supposed to be brought up on stream, but he chose to do so. I'm sorry to the stream audience at home that have to deal with his filth.
The several thousand children that are watching right now.
I know, it's disgraceful. This is used as English education in Laos because most these are the only words they know. Jump in with the diffuser blade now on the Ricky. Follow
Jesus
up off
Christ.
the Cataclysm. Down goes the Juggernaut. Nagi on Invoker is just something you can't give them.
I mean, the hero. I think I'm not sure if the meta has really settled on how good this hero is. To be honest, whenever I've seen it, it's looked pretty good. But it might just be a little greedy. Like I really don't know. But if it's good, and even if it's not good, Nagi's going to be a serious threat on it. So it's worth keeping in mind. It's
We've got a message
definitely
in the chat I want to bring a reference to very quickly, Faith Kian. Dara says, who the hell has seen Twister? Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more.
like plenty of people have seen Twister. A lot of people saw Twisters actually. Apparently, I didn't watch Twisters, but apparently a lot of people did. I want to see
Fascinating.
Twisters, which I assume is that it's going to be like the third one.
Twisters is this.
Twisters is like an apostrophe. The end. Twisters. You know?
Meanwhile, also facing a twist is these racks. They do manage to catch out this MP who still has an Aegis and a Force Staff, so a lot to be able to save him here. He does go down the once. They do have the duel ready on the Legion Commander for the second death. They have the ult as well. Out comes that RP, but the follow-up from Nagi. Look at the meatball roll. They try to throw out the Omni Slash, but it's not enough to kill Coral. Coral TPing out here.
He
does go down in the end, but he also loses 2 heroes in order to do so, and Jesse James on the brink of death, as is their last rack. So reminder, this is an elimination game. If Standins lose right now, they're out of this tournament. We have a final between the side of June Squad and the side of Wong's Bakery. Mega Creeps claimed at 28 minutes. This is the last hold the Standins will see. Dust popped by Jesse James, doesn't connect to anyone for now. Out comes these axes from Shirks on this Beastmaster. They choose to back up for just 1 minute, take a breather, and wait for Coral on this MP.
Megas is scary. Maniac and Nagi are gonna look, but I think they're just gonna wait. Like they could wait 30 seconds, but I just don't
Are they
think
going to do
will.
the same combo again? It looks like they're going to. They get out that big old smoke screen, and that's the buyback on the Juggernaut gone.
Yeah. Oof.
Oh, my little baby. Oh, no, my baby, indeed. And now they're going to march towards these towers. Maniac might be getting his early Betty buys. This might be the fastest game of Div 1 so far. Except for the game the teams didn't show up to.
That would be true if it weren't directly like 5 minutes or 6 minutes longer than the last game we casted, Mark.
That wasn't in Div 1, Kian. Which game was this? Oh, shit, you're right. Yeah, never mind. I cast a lot of games, Faith Kian. What can I say? I know for you, this is your big evening. For me, this is a Saturday.
Yeah. For Mark, this is just a Tuesday. Yeah.
Indeed. To me, crazy straws are just normal. What can I say?
In your sick and twisted mind.
Coral's still picking up all of these wisdom runes, you know?
Yeah, he's so
ever
wise.
diligent.
He
so
sees,
wise.
he understands Rick and Morty.
Yeah. Deep underlying philosophy behind it.
Yeah.
I am become pickle, ship of Theseus. Meanwhile, looking a little bit less wise at these guys who bought no house insurance for these barracks and now facing into a recession, homeless. All of these creeps slowly converging onto these waves. Things looking pretty rough for the stand-ins.
If you take every element of a man and replace it slowly over time with a pickle, is it the same man at the end?
That's the question. But what if you took every element of a pickle and replaced it with a man?
Is it the same pickle?
That is the real question. Would it still taste briny? Is the question that I would have.
Still be briny. How briny was the man?
What if his name was Brian?
What if he was a sailor?
Shiver me timbers.
Yeah, a
indeed,
sailor
Faith
named
Yan.
Brian. You've got that element, right? You've got the brininess. So
I know people at home are probably like, why aren't these guys casting the game? Because there's nothing fucking happening.
yeah.
Let me be real here.
They've decided a slow death by 1,000 mega creeps here. I mean, are they waiting for Roche or are they doing Roche? Like, what's the...
It could potentially. There's still a minute 16 before it can even appear. So I don't know. I know Moth was quite clear on wanting to go to bed quite early tonight. So I imagine they're going to be making a GG push quite soon.
If there is one difference between...
Oh, speaking of which, they're doing the combo again, Faith Kian. They're doing it again.
Yeah.
We don't even need to use the Cataclysm this time. Blitz really struggling on this Juggernaut this game. Follow up with the Roar out onto the Legion Commander. They have the Sunstrike as well. In comes Kamki. Kamki has the damage coming out. BKB from JP, but the meatball is flowing onto Jesse James, so Jesse can't get any follow-up. Bicep Femoris does lock in Shirks. Shirks could be in some trouble here. But the rest of the team going down one by one. They lose the Legion Commander, they lose the Shaman, they lose the Juggernaut, and now out comes the ult from the CM, forcing them back into their base. They do lose Shirks. The buyback now coming out from the Legion Commander. Can the Legion pick anything else here? They have those Mass Serpent Wards slowly keeping the Megas off of these two towers. But in blinks Kamki with that Yule Scepter, catches out JP. Follow up with that Frostbite as well as those big Little use of those smoke screens from the Riki. Cataclysm on top of him. Down goes the Legion Commander. That is no buyback. That might just be game. We might have our second finalist.
No, it could be anybody's game, yeah. No, hold on, could be anybody's. Could be anybody's.
Here comes the Omni Slash onto a billion creeps potentially. A reminder, if they are about to win this, Bison Ephemeris does manage to catch Koro.
Koro wants to go to bed.
Hit by that, but AA wants to go to bed. They're taking out this big Ancient. We have our second finalist team in Division 1 of the Irish Joe League Season 4. Wongs Bakery will take on the June squad in the finals.
Maniac is all chatting Flame, and you're terrible, which is cool and fun.
He's very good friends with Alpha Mega Bega and JP, so I think it is in good fun. We hope. But in any actuality, a very impressive performance there from Wong's Bakery. As we mentioned, only undefeated team in series coming into this, so we're going to see how they do against you guys in the final.
They're not undefeated. We defeated them.
It was 1-1.
I mean, undefeated. Well, then we're also undefeated.
Okay. Well, we shall see what happens when an unmovable object is hit by an unrelenting force.
Except for the fact that both of us were defeated.
Anyway, folks, thank you so much for joining us this evening. And a reminder, a very happy birthday to Mr. Taylor Farron. If we get some more love in the chat for the boy.
Birthday
I didn't ask for that.
You.
I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask for that. Thanks.
What do you think he got for his birthday?
If you're watching this at your birthday, Taylor, get a fucking life. Have a good night,
Jesus
guys.
Christ.
GG's. See you later.
Yeah, bye everybody.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody and stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. You check as I'm chess, what's happening next? Yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill no discretion. Your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep, move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions in the right mind can take you